Why, hello there, everybody. Today is the second day of Capcom Cup 10, but before the matches start, we got a Project L update, and it is not just any Project L update. It is the final update for Project L as we know it, and the reason why I say final update for Project L as we know it is because they are giving it an official name, so it will no longer be referred to as Project L. Seemingly, the name here is 2XKO. Potentially, it could be pronounced as 2 times KO, but I saw this tweet saying that it's pronounced how it is spelled, which makes me think it is indeed 2XKO, even though I think 2 times KO sounds slightly better. And if you guys want me to be honest with you, I think this is a pretty dumb name. Personally, I think something like League of Fighters would have been perfectly fine. Not that I expected it to be named League of Fighters. I talked about this before on the live stream. League of Fighters was probably a little too on the nose for them because if you look at their other League of Legends related games that are not actual League of Legends, such as Teamfight Tactics, and I think they have a card game as well called Legends of Runeterra or something. There's Legends of Runeterra and Teamfight Tactics. And in Teamfight Tactics case, it literally uses 3D models from League of Legends. And even with it being that related to League of Legends, it doesn't have League of Legends anywhere in its title. And it's not any kind of derivative of the name League of Legends anywhere. It is called Teamfight Tactics. So my impression is that Riot Games wants each of their games to have their own independent name, even if it is super related to League of Legends. That's probably from a branding standpoint of not wanting any potential players to feel as if they have to have some investment in League of Legends already. But even so, I could have thought of way better names, and I was expecting something more like, even though it doesn't have to have the League of Legends name in the title or any derivative of it, I was expecting something related to things in League of Legends, such as, you know, Summoner's Rift or Champions, because the characters that you play as in League of Legends are referred to as champions. So I thought it was going to be something along the lines of Rift Fighters or Fight of Champions, something like that. But no, we got 2XKO, and I really think it is just trying too hard to be minimalist and cool at the same time. I was even talking about on the stream how they might want to have the name specifically include something relating to the fact that you can have another player with you in a 2v2 match. And so I was thinking maybe they would include team in the name, like Team Fighters, but I thought, no, something like Team Fighters or something like that would sound a little too generic, because that could just as well be a name for any other tag team-based fighter, even though the other tag team-based fighters don't have 2v2 multiplayer. And it looks as if I was right in at least thinking of a name like that, because 2XKO is essentially Team Fighters, right? I'm assuming the 2X is referring to the fact that you have 2 characters, potentially even 2 players on one side, doing the fighting, which is supposed to be leading to a KO. I'm assuming that's how they got the name. I just think it's too minimalist. But more important than the name, potentially we got some actual gameplay today, and this is the new page, and they only have 2 videos, both of which were uploaded 2 hours ago. We have this 55-second video and this 3-minute video. So let's watch the shorter one first. And I also searched it on YouTube because, you know, Twitter video compression kind of ruins videos sometimes. So I tried to find it on YouTube, and the only thing I could find that could potentially be it is this video by GameSpot. Official 2XKO name announcement gameplay trailer. This is 54 seconds. I'm assuming this is the same as this. So let me watch it on Twitter first. Or at least the first few seconds. So we've seen this map already. Okay, let me see if this is the same thing. Yeah, it is. I think this is a new map. Some kind of tavern. Looks like Bilgewater. Looks a lot like the tavern in Bilgewater in the League of Legends RPG in Ruined King. Or Ruined. But it's probably because it is also a tavern in Bilgewater, right? So they're going to use very similar direction there. I think we've seen these moves from Ari already. I'm trying to pay attention to the mechanics here to see if they tweaked anything based on what I remember. But the last time I got an update was at EVO, and that was 6 months ago. So I might be misremembering some things in terms of the minutia of the gameplay. But that was the tag system. Yeah, so they used the wind wall assist and then tagged in as Yasuo. Darius, shoulder bash assist, tag in.
Stand with me. We call the weak. Starting now.
Action replay. Time to throw down.
I think we saw all that before. Oh, okay, I just saw Illaoi's lantern. So we might be getting, we never got actual gameplay of Illaoi, right? It was just those screenshots in a dev blog type of format. So if anybody missed that, I have my video on my YouTube channel. Illaoi had already been confirmed. Her model looks really good. I like how much bigger they made the lantern for the fighting game compared to League of Legends. At least based on what I remember in League of Legends. Maybe it's just the top-down perspective that made me think the lantern was smaller in that game. But I like how the lantern takes up a big portion of the real estate here. So she gets a wall bounce. Oh, is that all we see from her? Yeah, so she does a wall bounce into what looks to be a hit grab. That looks like a hit grab, but more importantly, the hitbox is huge, but there is some kind of special animation right here, so that must be a super, right? So I guess that's how they can justify such a big hitbox, but that must be a crazy big whiff punish move. If it reaches from that far away. I doubt it is specifically an anti-air, just because of how much screen real estate it's occupying. It looks as if it side switches, but then puts them back on the same side. So I wonder if there's some kind of cancel you can do or something to stop it from putting them back to the same side. Maybe you could tag in or something during this and then hit the opponent while they're on this side to keep them on this side. I'm just trying to think any kind of extra utility you could get out of a super that puts them on one side and then back to the other side. Because if there were no extra utility from that, why not just keep them on the same side? But it could just be for visual effect, right? Also, I'm kind of grasping for straws here because they literally only showed her do 2 moves.
About time.
So, not very much new gameplay at all. It was just a new stage, and we saw 2 of Illaoi's moves. But we did also get, like I said, this 3-minute video. This is probably just Tom Cannon talking about the name. So let's watch it. Not full screen.
Tom here, executive producer of... Hey all, Tom here, executive producer of Riot's upcoming TV2 tag fighter 2XKO. We've got a few things to catch you up on.
Yeah, it is 2XKO. I think 2 times KO rolls off the tongue better, but 2 times KO might imply that there are 2 KOs, not necessarily the fact that you have 2 teammates doing a KO. But by that logic, wouldn't 2x KO also imply that you are doing 2 KOs? I'm assuming people are going to eventually just conveniently call it 2x because every fighting game eventually gets a shorter version of its name. You know, Dragon Ball FighterZ is called Fighters. I guess a lot of times fighting games are referred to by their subtitle, right? Guilty Gear Strive is Strive. In Mortal Kombat's case, you get acronyms, right? MKX, MK9, MK11, MK1. But in this case, there's no subtitle, right? And you can't make an acronym because the name already looks like an acronym. So I think people are going to probably start calling it 2X. But I forgot to mention this earlier. Another reason why I think this name is dumb, whether you like it or not, whether you think the name is good or not, objectively, an issue with the name is that it is going to be really hard to search for. This is a really not searchable name. If you type in to a search bar anywhere 2XKO, because it is just 4 numbers / letters, because it is essentially an acronym, you are going to be getting so many things unrelated to Project L pulling up, probably. But maybe this game is going to become so popular that if you search 2XKO, you automatically get actual 2XKO results, right? But for a while, like right now, for example, I think it might be kind of hard to search for. I think it has probably some really bad searchability, at least right now. And like I said, if it ends up getting popular enough, might not be that big of an issue, but if you are in charge of naming something like this, I think you would want to proof it in every way possible, including the searchability. So I think that's another big reason why the name is dumb. Anyway.
Tom here, executive producer of Riot's upcoming 2v2 tag fighter 2XKO. We've got a few things to catch you up on.
Using footage we saw already. They might just show the whole 55 seconds. Not all of it.
First, we finally have a name. Project L is now 2XKO.
Yeah, I noticed.
That's why we're making the switch. This year, we're entering a new phase of development. Our dev team has grown significantly since we last talked.
So, their dev team has grown significantly, but didn't they lay off hundreds of employees not too long ago? I thought that was such a weird time to do it, right? Because Riot Games has more games now than ever, because they used to only have League of Legends, but now they have Valorant, they have Teamfight Tactics, they have Legends of Runeterra, they have, I think all the single player games, like the one I was referring to earlier, the RPG, Ruination, that's the name of the game. Wait, I get the book name mixed up with the game because they're both about the Ruined King and that sort of stuff. But the RPG and the other single-player games, I'm pretty sure are outsourced, so I'm not counting those. But even so, it's still other projects that Riot has that they have to manage, right? So anyway, my point is that Riot Games has more things to work on now than ever before, and they are currently working on Project L. So I think it's crazy they had to lay off employees now, whereas they didn't have to lay off employees before when they only had League of Legends, right? You'd figure they would need more employees now than ever, but I guess not. But if we're going to take Tom Cannon's word as truth here, then Project L indeed has more staff than ever. So I guess only other development teams had to get shrunken, whereas Project L's development team grew.
Things are really ramping.
I had to bring that up because there was no other time to talk about it, and it reminded me how weird that was.
That team has grown significantly since we last talked, and things are really ramping up.
But if you were moving employees over from other sectors into the Project L dev team, that would mean you need more employees even more. I don't get it.
We still have a lot of game left to build, but we're far enough along that it's time to start sharing more with you over the coming year. Overall, we're building an always evolving fighting game for the FGC, and there's so much to be excited for. There's also a lot we still have to figure out. Oh,
there's some new Illaoi gameplay. So this video was not on YouTube, or at least I couldn't find it.
But it's time to start sharing more with you over the coming year. Overall, we're building an always evolving fighting game for the FGC, and there's so much to be
big jump in.
Excited for.
Button. Crouch button. Oh, the launcher. Air series.
And so that's where we're going.
Nothing super fancy here, but right here.
An always evolving fighting game for the FGC, and there's so much to be excited for. There's also a lot we still have to.
Not that jump in. That jump in. it happened earlier too. She has a slight bit of a red aura, slight bit of a red effect as she's doing this jump in, and it has quite a bit of startup. So I would expect this to be an indicator for armor. This must be an armor to jump in.
So that's where we're going fighting game for the FGC. And enough along that it's time to start sharing more.
Kind of reminds me of
the coming year.
Monster Hunter's
Overall, we're building
big
a
old
voice
jump in
fighting
with the
game for
greatsword.
FGC. And there's so much to be
Because Monster Hunter has a lot of super armor on her greatsword attacks.
excited for.
So you can see it a little bit right there.
So much
See? That must be armor. So I think from here on out, whenever we see this effect, we can assume it is super
to
armor.
be excited for.
Either super armor or
There's
guard
also a lot
point
we
or
still have
something
to
like
figure
that.
out. And so that's where we're going to need your help.
Nothing super fancy in the combo route there. Just an air series into super.
Last fall, we brought the game to Evo to get your feedback, and we're extremely grateful for all the time
I wish I could get this screen bigger without it going full screen.
you gave us there. Since then, we've continued talking directly with the fighting game community all over
Maybe I can zoom in. How's that?
the world, and we're learning a ton through direct feedback online, hands-on playtests, and going to events like Evo. In 2024, we want to take that community focus to the next level and give you all more opportunities to play the game and give us feedback. So, here's what we're doing next. You're going to see us pop up with a playable demo in a bunch of places across the world. As a reminder, we'll be at Evo Japan in April. If you're attending, come check it out and tell us what you
Okay, so no online beta just yet.
And we won't just be looking at major events, so keep an eye out for more announcements soon.
I still think this game is not close, because if it is just now getting a name, then it's not close to being released. And also, I think they are being very transparent with the development progress of this game. I think that the progress of this game is pretty much right at wherever they show the game being in these update videos, right? Whereas normally a much more traditional advertisement campaign for a game will be showing you stuff that was several months ago, right? A typical game development cycle is going to be much further ahead of whatever the trailers are showing, whereas I think Project L is kind of an anomaly. These are the background NPCs on the Bilgewater stage.
For those of you that can't make it in person, the team will be sharing some of our development plans online to get your perspective. We won't be ready to announce everything, but we want to talk with you directly. So follow the new 2XKO channels and keep in touch. You're going to see a lot more of us this year, and we think that this community-first approach is the most effective way to make 2XKO the best game it can be at launch and beyond. 2023 was us in Project L heads down mode with a really valuable check-in at Evo. 2024 will be about getting you more involved with events, updates, and yes, maybe even some at-home playtesting later this year.
Okay,
And in
later this year. So that answered my question a little bit. And it also corroborates what I was saying in that a playtest is not anytime soon, but later this year makes a lot of sense. So, soft confirmation, playable beta, final quarter of 2024.
25, we're aiming to fully launch on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series.
Oh, did we get a release window?
2023 was us in Project L heads down mode with a really valuable check-in at Evo. 2024 will be about getting you more involved with events, updates, and yes,
Not me to
maybe
skip it
even
back
some
that far.
at-home playtesting later this year. And in 2025, we're aiming to fully launch on PlayStation 5.
Okay, so playtest late 2024, games launching probably first half of 2025. That definitely lines up with what I was expecting before. I've been saying this is probably a 2025 game. It's crazy though, because I looked at my first Project L video, and at least according to YouTube, it says I uploaded that 2 years ago. So, 2 years ago, and then still having to wait an extra year. It doesn't feel as if it's been that long, but by the time the game comes out, that's going to be a game that had a crazy long update cycle. When I say update cycle, I mean in terms of news and trailers, not updates in terms of patches. You know what I mean.
Xbox Series S and X,
Advertising campaign.
and PC.
Because it's pretty rare these days to get advertising campaigns that are more than 2 years long, you know?
What you can do right now is head over to play2xko.com to register for testing.
Okay, definitely am going to sign up for that.
Sign up is specifically for upcoming playtests, so you'll need to sign up again even if you've registered your email before. We've come a long way since first announcing this game, but we're so excited for this next chapter. Thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.
Okay, so was there any other tweet that I should pay attention to? The playtests, which I will promptly do as soon as I am done uploading this video and making a thumbnail. Part of me kind of hopes that the majority of people will miss this tweet and start pronouncing it 2 times KO. And then maybe it would stick, because I still think 2 times KO is better than 2x KO. But let me know what you guys think about the title in the comments. I know I talked a lot about the title as if it's a big deal, but obviously the title isn't that big of a deal. Big of a deal. But it still matters a little bit, and I'm mostly talking about it from a marketing standpoint, because whatever the game is called doesn't affect me if the game is fun, right? Because it's not as if you're going to have to do anything with the title when you're playing the game, aside from just saying it when you're talking about the game. But again, I'm just talking about it from a marketing standpoint. I like putting myself, I like imagining myself being in the position in which I would have to come up with the names. And I'm trying to reverse engineer the thought process behind why they do some of these things, right? So that's probably why I spent so much time talking about something as trivial as a name. I'm just saying this now because I can already see the comments saying, why are you complaining so much about a name? Why are you critiquing a name so much? It's just a name, bro. It's just a name. It only matters if the game is fun. Yes, I agree with you. I'm talking about this from a marketing standpoint, not necessarily a fun standpoint in terms of the gameplay. So anyways, thanks again for watching, everybody, and I will see all of you later. So bye for now.